stun grenade. What the fuck? Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to another YouTube video, and today we're going to be filming for Feature Class Guides episode 10 with none other than the Oden. The Oden is I would say a very underrated multiplayer gun, especially for medium to close range maps, and people underestimate the amount of damage that it can do due to its like crazy recoil patterns and the struggle to keep the gun under control. In the latest season 4 patch notes, they have given a stopping power buff to guns like the Oden and the Foul to pretty much turn it into a 1-2 shot kill gun. I've created a recent Oden build that is not only quite easy to hold together, I would say if you have a half decent aim, it's fairly easy to hold together, and when you put stopping power, or even without stopping power, the gun is like a 3-shot kill maximum, and it absolutely shreds on core. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be speaking to you guys about the camo that I've got on it. I'm going to explain to you how the blueprint helps as well, because this is a blueprint that I've never tried before, and as well as that, we're also going to show you all the different attachments and the gun builds that I run it on. We're then going to be also showing clips throughout the process of this video, so you guys can see exactly what the gun looks like in game and how it performs in game. We're then going to also run a custom game to show you guys some recoil patterns for ADS and hipfire to show you guys how it performs in a kind of, game environment. All right, so let's roll into the video and let's start talking about the gun itself. The camo itself on the gun looks beautiful, by the way. The camo itself is Damascus, and if you guys want to find out how to get the Damascus camo, scroll back on my YouTube videos. There is a YouTube video. Also put the link down below so you guys can see how to get the Damascus camo if you are interested. I do have a full guide on that. As well as that, we use the black ASP blueprint variant for the gun. Now, to get this, we'll have to have unlocked it from the Season 3 Battle Pass at level 35. It is called the Black ASP, and it gives you the special iron sight that you need for this build. I personally do not like the iron sight on the Oden unless you're using this blueprint. It kind of gives you that half-angled growl blueprint sight and makes it a lot easier to be able to hit your shots, because I do not like the original blueprint. If you do not have the black ASP blueprint, you can try and trade one of these out for a red dot sight. Maybe think about going with the I don't know, the VLK or the operator reflex sight, or even kind of like a Viper reflex. However, I recommend to have this to get max performance from this build and to also be able to have all your other attachments equipped as well. Let's run through all of the different attachments that I use and how they make some sort of benefit to the gun. All right, monolithic suppressor is pretty much a must for any class at this point. I use this attachment for 90% of my guns, and it just gives fantastic sound suppression and damage range as well. It gives you the range that you need to make the gun effective at medium to long range, and it also covers the sound of the gun to make it harder for people to work out where you are. I know once again that you're losing the aiming down sight speed and aiming walking steadiness. However, these are built up from other perks that we'll be speaking about later on in the build. Other people have mentioned to me that you can also run the Colossus suppressor, and now what that does is pretty much an extended version of the monolithic suppressor. So if you have a look at the size of the gun here and you see how long the monolithic suppressor is, you have a look at the Colossus, it's pretty much as long as the gun itself, and it pretty much extends the gun into double. Now, even though this will give the gun a lot of range and probably a little bit more accuracy as well, the mobility that you lose with this is not ideal. All right, so if you want to maybe have this gun for a very long range map, maybe use it for like S&D, or maybe use it for like longer range map, Colossus may be more beneficial. However, do remember that you are losing a bit of mobility control, and it won't aim down sight as fast as what you'll get with a monolithic suppressor. Okay, so that's why I choose to use that over the Colossus. Next up, for the barrel, you have the decision to use any of these barrels. However, I go with the lowest barrel here because what it does, it gives me extra ADS speed, av movement speed, as well as losing a little bit of volley velocity and recoil control, which is picked up through other attachments in the game. Now, this ADS and, having a barrel that gives you movement speed, if you're like me and you're a super aggressive player, is so helpful. There's not many barrels in the game that actually do give you that perk, so I found that really interesting. I tried it out, and it for an aggressive kind of, say SMG style player for medium to short range maps, this makes the gun absolutely really mobile and allows you to be really snappy and gives you kind of the aggressive feeling that you want for them medium to short range maps. You can give it a try again if you do feel like it doesn't have enough range and you want to try and extend the barrel, by all means, but do remember that if you do use either of these barrels that are above it, you will be losing ADS speed and you will be losing movement speed, so you won't be as mobile, but you will get a little bit of extra range and recoil control. Okay, thirdly, this is kind of the attachment that changed it all for me. Tat laser recently, especially with the nerf of the no stock in the latest patch, has become, I would say, the go-to attachment, right? So not only are you getting ADS speed, not only are you getting extra aim stability on a gun where you need as much stability as possible, you're also getting aim walking steadiness, all for, you know, the negative laser that exposes itself when your position is active. I don't feel like that is that much of a difference to not use it. By the time they've seen your laser, they're dead most of the time anyway, and it only appears when you ADS down sight. So the TAT laser is absolutely fantastic. It is, especially with the aim and stability, the key component that brings this build together, and I highly recommend it over either of the other lasers as well. I used to run a red dot sight, but because of the black ASP variant, I don't need to use a red dot sight anymore. And in terms of stocks, there's nothing really here that I would use to go over anything that I've currently got. I used to run stippled grip tape, however I swapped out the stippled and ran Commando foregrip, and the Commando foregrip is absolutely amazing for when you're ADS and down sight for medium to long range engagements and you're constantly trying to shoot your shots and you don't want the gun to recoil too much and you want to try and keep it under control. It gives you the recoil stabilization that you need, and it's also giving you the aim and stability that you need. You lose a little bit of movement speed, but you gain that back up through the barrel that you're getting anyway, okay? And then finally, 30 round mags are an absolute must. The gun itself only comes with 20 round mags as standard, so you want to be running the 30 to give yourself as much ammo and as much opportunity as possible to kill people in game, because they will deplete really quickly when you're trying to spray down at people and in their spawns as well. Okay, here you'll see the usual build that I run with the Renetti. We won't speak about this too much, but just to give you kind of a little bit of a brief on what we use. Obviously, we run the MK3 burst mod to keep it burst. We run the TAT laser for what we just explained previously on the Oden. We have the XRK speed grip to give you the extra ADS and sprint to fire speed. We run 27 round mags for as many round mags as possible. And finally, we use the lightweight trigger to give you guys the fastest fire rate possible to hopefully help you secure the kill as fast as possible. Okay, next up for the perks, and this is a slight change to what we've used in previous videos. We run quick fix as perk 1. So what this does is a stim on kill, and every time, as soon as you get the kill, you will get your health back instantly. Quick fix, again, if you haven't seen my previous videos, has been buffed over the last couple of months, and when you get the kill now, you pretty much instantly get your health back. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it, especially if you don't run stims. Then you've got point man, which turn your kill streaks into score streaks, and what I mean by that is if you go for objective plays, if you are like me and you're an objective slayer, somebody who wants to win but also slay, you know, if you're getting assists, if you're getting flag caps, if you're jumping in the hard point, all of that goes towards your total score and allows you to get your kill streaks way easier than just having to get it through kills. Point man, I would say, is a massively underrated perk. Pretty much anything in perk 2 can work for you if you make it work right. I just prefer point man, and that's what I like to use. Previously, I've used tune up to allow me to get my charge fill times upgraded by 40%. I would still say it's massively viable. However, I fell in love with shrapnel recently because I've been running C4s. A lot of people use EOD these days, and having 2 C4s at the start of every spawn helps you to secure them kills against pesky EOD players or trying to get into objectives and clear several zones at once, okay? So that's why we run shrapnel now. Obviously, for the lethal, we're running the C4 as explained, and I will show you how we do the fast detonating game when we go in the custom game. And finally, for this class, rather than running the smoke grenade that I would normally do, I like to use stun grenades here to help me secure kills with a gun that does recoil a little bit. Stun grenade slows people down, stops them from moving as much, and allows me to pick several people off at the same time, okay? So now that you guys have seen the full gun build here, what we're going to do is we're going to load into a custom game to show you some recoil patterns so you can see how the gun would perform in the game itself. All right, let's load into it. Guys, welcome back. We have loaded into the custom game in Hackney Yard, and I'm going to show you guys what the gun would look like with its ADS and hip fire recoil to give you a kind of sense on how the gun reacts in game. All right, so let's start by using, let's say you've got an enemy who's directly in front of you right here and you need to quickly hip fire. Let's have a look without moving the mouse how the recoil would be controlled. So it can be a little bit unreliable at a very, let's say, like a long-paced fight. So, you know, a fight that may extend over a couple of seconds, it may be unreliable. But originally, if it's just a couple of pop shots that you're trying to put into somebody from this kind of range, you still will be able to take somebody out even from a hip fire radius. If we were to move further back and we were to move at this point, I'm going to show you guys what the gun looks like in terms of vertical and horizontal recoil without moving the mouse again. Okay, so the gun actually moves off of the map here, and one of the reasons that a lot of people don't use the Oden is because they find that the aim in itself can be very, let's say, unstable and unpredictable. However, the time to kill and the effectiveness of the gun right now definitely makes up for it, and if you can keep your aim under control, you'll be able to slay people out in 2 to 3 shots, especially using stop and power rounds, all right? Trying to keep the aim under control while moving left to right with the commando foregrip does allow you to do that. And if you do have a half decent aim and you do start to learn the recoil patterns, it will take a little bit of time to get used to. The gun's value in itself and how you use it is definitely worth it, and it becomes an absolute slaying machine, as you can see through the clips that you've probably been watching during the video so far. Okay, moving around the map to give you kind of like a feel of the gun itself. As you can see, it's super snappy. You know, for an assault rifle, you want it to be, you know, snappy but also effective at holding different ranges as well. So if an enemy is to appear, you know, from your right hand side, from your left hand side, there's no waiting, you know, 20 seconds for a gun to zoom in or anything like that. It can be as aggressive as an SMG and also used effectively at medium to short range engagements, as well as also picking people off at long range fights as well. Okay, we have the Renetti class here. Whereas if you've got a decent trigger finger, it can be absolutely amazing as well by taking enemies out. You've got the double C4 because of shrapnel, allowing you to take people out at multiple angles, no matter where they're coming from. For me, for detonating, or let's say fast detonating the C4, I double press my middle mouse button to throw it and then double tap F for quick use. I'm not sure what it is on console. I believe it's either X or square, depending if you're on PS4 or on Xbox, but you have to use the use button. You have to double tap the use button after throwing the C4 for fast detonation. Okay, obviously we've got the stun grenade, and then for the field upgrades, I either use trophy systems to hold me down in the point, or you could be using stopping power if again you want to use the value of the gun in its latest buffs with the stopping power, or you can use dead silence as well, as they're all really effective. Okay, so that's what the gun looks like in game. That's what it's like with his recoil patterns. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So during the video, you had a chance to see my full Oden build since the latest patch on Season 4 has come out. You've had a chance to see what it looks like in game. You've had a chance to see what some of the clips and perspectives are like of the gun in game and how it performs and how quick the gun can actually slay due to its fast time to kill nature. Okay, using things like stop and power, using things like the shrapnel with the double C4, being aggressive and having a gun that can be really mobile if you're an aggressive player like me, running things like point man, quick fix, can all add together to help you guys get the craziest plays and the most amazing clips out there. I've had a lot of people who have been using the Oden class recently, and they've been saying to me how great the gun has been. So I wanted to share this build with everybody in hopes that you can find some success with it and hopes that you enjoy it as well. As of recording this video, we're around 4.75k subscribers on YouTube, really close to that 5k. Cannot believe how fast we are growing on this platform. Once 5k is done, you bet you we're going to be going for that 10k as well. So if you have enjoyed the video so far and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Feel free to drop any positive or constructive criticism down below. We really appreciate it. You know, share it to any friends, or if you want to do any of that at all. We also have multiple uploads coming in. We've got uploads coming in 3 times a week. We usually upload either feature class guides. We've got a snapshot series if you guys want to find out how to get better at the game, and we've also got montages and other bits and pieces coming as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.